Guys, it seems like I've been talking a lot about LVMH owned brands, new fragrance releases. Last week I did a video on Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton. A few days ago I did a video on Dior Riviera by Dior. And today I just got my box in, a package delivered from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I purchased this a few days ago. I believe they did a pre-purchase thing where you can buy it if you're on their mailing list before it hits the stores. So I've got Aqua Media Cologne Forte in here, created by Francis Kurkdjian. It's brand new, launching soon. If you want to find out all about it, and I'm going to tell you all about it, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today we're talking about Aqua Media Cologne Forte, the latest fragrance from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So we've got two fragrances created by Francis Kurkdjian launching around the same time. Of course, as I said, I did a video on Dior's Dior Riviera, which is launching very soon. It's supposed to launch around June 1st. And I believe this is the same thing with this Aqua Media Cologne Forte from Maison Francis Kurkdjian is also launching around the 1st of June. Both of the brands are under LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet and Hennessy, and they've got a lot of fragrances launching. Of course, I'm doing videos on all of them. So are you guys excited about Aqua Media Cologne Forte? This is a brand new release, never been released before in the collection called Cologne Forte. So they have 3 different fragrances in the Cologne Forte already, but those 3 fragrances were already fragrances that they made a new concentration called Cologne Forte and moved them in here. My favorite of the bunch, I believe, is Aqua Universalis Forte, but I felt like that collection is a bit boring and bland, taking great fragrances and making them fresher, which to me, the fragrances were already pretty fresh, and so I felt they were underwhelming and a bit boring because I liked the previous versions. I didn't really care for the Cologne Forte versions. Here, though, I got a sneak peek at Neiman Marcus. I smelled it, but they declined to sell me a bottle, and they told me I can only buy it on the 1st. And then I got an email from Maison Francis Kurkdjian saying since I'm on their mailing list I can buy it, so here I am buying it myself. I'm not waiting for Neiman Marcus. If you guys have gotten your nose on Aqua Media Cologne Forte, let me know, put a comment down. I'm wondering if this will end up being a regular fragrance though, now that they've launched it as a Cologne Forte. Will they go backwards, whereas in the past their current fragrances went to the Cologne Forte, and I'm hoping that they would go backwards and make them more intense, but we shall see. Let's go ahead and open this box up. They allowed me to pick some gifts while I was checking out, and so my box is a bit full of these this stuff. Let me show you before it spills everywhere. So it's a bit messy, but it comes in a box like this. As you can see, it's nicely wrapped. And a lot of brands, luxury brands, are doing that now with their fragrances when you buy them. And they put it all inside the box, including the samples they give you and everything. And so, you know, now you can open it up and things like that. So let's go and open this up. As I was saying earlier, I have smelled this. I enjoyed what I smelled. It was fresh and green. And it features Verbena, and Verbena is becoming popular lately. Have you guys noticed that? I'm seeing Verbena come up quite frequently. So here's the box opened up. It's got a little flyer there, a little card showing the fragrance. And it is a green fragrance. For sure it's green, as you can see. So let's go ahead and open this up. So they've provided these 3 samples for me, and I believe I was able to pick them when I was checking out. So we've got a Baccarat Rouge, we've got the Eau De Parfum, an Extrait de Parfum, and a sample of the Cologne Forte, the Aqua Media Cologne Forte. And then we've got Aqua Vitae Cologne Forte mini here, a tiny mini. Everything else is just paper, and then I guess they've got some paper that matches the coloring of the bottle. But here's the actual bottle right here. So it's pretty simplistic. It comes in a 200 ml for $4.35, 70 ml for $2.35, and I believe it's a 36 ml for $1.40. As you can see, if you do the math, the per ml price will be better with the larger bottle, but some of you guys don't need that much juice. This is a freshie. I would personally call this a citrus aromatic fragrance. It is an Eau De Parfum concentration, and it is created by Francis Kurkdjian. And even though it's an Eau De Parfum concentration, these are very fresh fragrances, so very light. They're perfect for the folks that like the freshies. And as I was saying again, I sampled this and I felt like it was the most original in the collection of the Cologne Fortes. Obviously it is original because we haven't smelled this before, so it makes sense that I would really be drawn to this one in comparison to the other ones. Comparing all four Cologne Forte fragrances, this one felt the best to me because I haven't smelled a concentration of this in a previous form, so it's a brand new fragrance for me and the one that I liked. It is very green, and obviously we've got the green all over this packaging, and then the actual bottle inside will also be green. This is interesting presentation, typical of Maison Francis Kurkdjian's presentation. And here is the bottle right here. So in the photos it kind of looks a little more green, a little more substantial, but well, the glass is green itself, but to me it doesn't come off really dark and green, so you can see the juice and everything. So typically with fresh fragrances, that's what they kind of do. I liked what I smelled, as I said. I'm going to test it out on camera for you real quick, but this has notes of Verbena accord, essence of sweet fennel, bergamot from Calabria, musks, Hedione, and woods. Those are the notes that the Maison Francis Kurkdjian website claims that are in here. And those of you that don't know what Hedione is, it's a jasmine, a type of jasmine that's been used. I believe it's a molecular note or some kind of a synthetic creation of jasmine, but it is smelling like jasmine. But let's go ahead and spray this and I'll let you know what I'm getting on camera. Instantly, it's green and aromatic. Totally verbena for sure. It's got that verbena, presence. The fennel adds this very kind of green vegetal touch to the fragrance, and it kind of balances out the sharpness. I feel like it does. And it's very citrusy. It's overdose of citruses here and musk. And it's typical with these fragrances from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. They're very musky fragrances. In fact, Aqua Universalis Forte was my favorite for a long time, and to me the overuse of musks in that fragrance had a very laundry-like presence, which I really liked. Here there's lots of musks. Obviously this is not a regular Forte, it's a Cologne Forte, so it's a lot brighter, a lot airier, a lot fresher. And definitely the verbena and the sweet fennel are very, very prominent here. It's a nice combo, I think. And once again, very juicy, very sparkly. The citruses are really, really overwhelming here. Lots of it. In fact, I feel like it's the verbena and the sweet fennel. Well, both of them are, aromatic herbs, but for me, fennel has a bit of a licoricey / a little vegetal kind of a smell. And the fact that they're in here, they're kind of like swimming in the juiciness of the bergamot. So, once again, we're not breaking any new ground here with this fragrance. It's new, and I think people are going to go crazy with it. I do like this one, and I have to be honest, I like it more than I like Dior Riviera. There, I said it. After playing around with Dior Riviera more, it kind of got boring for me. This one is a little more... The sparkliness of this one I quite like, and the fact that the other has that kind of... sandiness kind of just went boring for me. And I'm going to report on Dior Riviera more tomorrow in another video with a list of summer fragrances, which this will be on there as well. But I think it will be. I like it. Again, we're not breaking any new ground. It's very, very fresh. It's a sparkling. It's effervescent, very aromatic, citrusy, and a bit, you know, licoricey and vegetal. But the verbena smells pleasant. And again, if you like the idea of verbena and fragrances, which is kind of lemony and also kind of aromatic and herbal, this is definitely going to satisfy. It is, after all, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, very popular brand. This is not Baccarat Rouge, though. I don't know how popular the rest of the fragrances are from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, because I feel like Baccarat Rouge is so popular. You smell so many people wearing it. It's worn quite a bit. This one, I feel it'll satisfy the folks that really love fresh, sparkling, herbal, green fragrances. Those are my thoughts. Out of the four, this is my favorite in the collection of Cologne Fortes. I'll say that now. I like it more than the other three, because when I smelled the other three, knowing the previous versions of those, they felt very flat and boring. Like, I was like, what the heck have they done here? Since I've never smelled a Aqua Media prior to the Cologne Forte, makes it the most unique out of the entire collection. And it'll definitely be put to use. There's a sweetness about it. It's not totally tart. It's not totally sour. It's very calming, if that makes sense. There's nothing that really jumps out. It's just very fresh, though. So if you're wearing the fragrance and the notes are hitting you, it'll wake you up, but it won't like totally clash, if that makes sense. It's a very balanced. It's sweet. It's aromatic and citrusy, but nothing is extremely sharp here. Nothing is screechy and hard. Like, gentle fluidity silver from the house Maison Francis Kurkdjian is super sharp, extremely sharp, and that fragrance has a lot of aromatics and a lot of juniper, I believe, as well. So it makes for a very screechy wear, but also perfect in the humid heat. Here, it's a lot more balanced, it's a lot more calming, and a lot more sparkling, and really a fun fragrance, I think it would be. And those are my thoughts. Again, we're not breaking any new ground with this. It's been there, done that. We've smelled these fragrances before. I thought that Francis Kurkdjian or Maison Francis Kurkdjian would create something really exciting, like Baccarat Rouge, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Cologne Forte collection in general. This is definitely a breath of fresh air for that collection, but we're not really breaking any new ground once again. So it falls flat a bit. I want something really exciting, something that's a showstopper, something that will get a lot of, you know, heads turning and things like that. But here, it's just a citrus, and I've smelled plenty of it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I will put it to use. I do like the way it smells, but I want something big and exciting, and this is kind of boring. So we've been getting a lot of citrus launches from this house. I just hope they're going to launch something more intense. All the great fragrances are kind of discontinued now. Absolute Pour Le Soir, fantastic fragrance, is gone. Lumiere Pour Homme is gone. So many fragrances are gone. And then we're getting just citruses. I think the world is becoming a bit challenged with things, so they want something easy to go. Is that what's going on? Is that the experience, guys? Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about this fragrance. It's not a bad fragrance. I like it. I'll put it to use, but I was kind of hoping that it would be something a little more exciting, a showstopper, a head turner or something, but that's not what this is. This is going to be a pleasant fragrance to wear in the summertime, and that's pretty much it. The whole collection is a bit boring for me. This is the most exciting out of the whole collection because I haven't smelled this before. But were you guys expecting something really big and interesting? Let me know. Put a comment down. And if you can wish something that the brand could deliver for us, what would it be? Like, put a comment down, let me know what style of a fragrance would it be, what concentration would it be, and things like that. And I think I'm like I said, I'm expecting or wanting something really intense in the showstopper, a head turner or something like that. We'll hope to get it soon, but 2 citruses back to back has become a bit boring for me, sadly. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today's video on Aqua Media Cologne. Let me know if you've tested it and you've sampled it. What are your thoughts about it after watching this video? Are you curious to go sample it? It's not a bad fragrance, guys. It's just a bit boring. That's all. And between this one and Dior Riviera, I much prefer this one. I don't know why. I'll have to compare them side by side, but my thoughts after smelling this and spraying it, I'm preferring this one over Dior Riviera, but you'll find out more about it tomorrow in tomorrow's Summer Fragrances video. But let me know, put your thoughts, put a comment down so I can find out. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.